Hello, everyone. Welcome to our call. We wanted to just say thank you for joining us and taking your time out of your day to learn a little bit about what we've got going on in our lifestyle and we have with the transformation to offer for you. And so thank you, Allison and Jared and Sarah Brandow, for joining us as our special guests. Allison and Jared are the top distributors of the superfoods in Canada, and we are so blessed to have them as our friends and our mentors in this business. And then Sarah Brandow, she is a world-renowned plant-based nutritionist, just a wealth of knowledge. Every time I hear her speak, I'm learning something new, and I'm just super excited for you to have her here to speak to the foods and what they can do for you.
Yeah, just everybody that's here, welcome. Thank you so much for coming in, Sarah, Jared, Allison. Thanks for taking time out of your busy schedules to make this happen. You guys are just also amazing, and I'm glad for everybody to kind of hear a little bit about our story and our lifestyle. So, if you want to start a little bit with your story.
Yeah, so this is something that found me with the foods first. And so I was kind of at a rock bottom with my health. I had been searching for over a year for solutions with two autoimmune diagnoses that I had been given back in 2020. And so with everything that was going on during that time of year, everyone was kind of struggling mentally and financially. I had lost my job. I had found myself going back to the doctor a lot, trying to figure out what was going wrong with me. I was just kind of inflamed from head to toe. It seemed like I was in a lot of pain. I had a lot of stress and anxiety, and a lot of just weird things that were new to me. And so that's when I got diagnosed with celiacs and Hashimoto's. And they told me I would need prescription drugs for the rest of my life. And that was just kind of the only solution that they had to offer. And I said, no, at this point, I had been vegan for 5 years. And I knew going into this that the power of plants, when I switched over to a vegan lifestyle, it was another kind of rock bottom that I had with my health. And I was blessed to learn about whole food plant-based and what the reversing and prevention that plants can do when you add them into your life and you take out things like animal products and processed foods. And so I had been on a journey. I knew a lot about nutrition, but I didn't know about gut health or glyphosate. And so that was for me the missing piece. And someone on Instagram, actually, she dropped into my DMs and she just kind of built a really genuine friendship with me, and she learned about what I was struggling with and she offered a solution, and that was the ultimate lifestyle transformation. And I had been jobless for over a year at this point. I had been trying to heal myself on my own for over a year as well and kind of getting nowhere. And I said yes right away. I learned about the 60-day money back guarantee. Even though I had to borrow money at the time, I said, why not? I don't have anything to lose and I have everything to gain. So I jumped into it very dedicated to, the flex foods and the lifestyle and everything that comes in the guide to help you with the optimal results. And within a week, I had seen more progress with my health than I had in that entire year-long journey of doing all the right things, all organic, juicing every day, all the right supplements. And I just had to share it with everyone. So I started to share it with people, and he was actually the first person that kind of jumped on board with me. And so I will pass it over so you can hear his transformation, because by the end of my 30 days, I was no longer feeling any of my side effects I went to the doctor with. I had completely gained control of my mental health, my depression, my anxiety, my stress. I started working out again, so my physical health started seeing improvements, and it was just honestly the best thing I've ever done. And every day I feel like a little bit better and I see a lot more improvement. So I'll pass it to you.
Yeah, so for me, I saw Sam's transformation and I was blown away. It happened very quick and right before my eyes. When she started it, I wouldn't say I was skeptical, because I also believe in the power of plants, but I didn't know that it was going to be this powerful. It blew me away. And so I was like, okay, I got to learn more about gut health. So I dove into the community, I dove into the foods myself. I'm very much into health and fitness, so there is a fitness pack that has all the proteins and stuff, and that's what I dove into. And like my recovery is just like ridiculous now. Like I put my body through a lot of like hard work at the gym and my exercise, and I bounce back so fast, and it's just so amazing. And so for me, it's just like really improved there. Really excited to, you know, kind of build into our college impact that we have. As I'm getting a little bit older, you know, I want to keep this hair nice and thick, and something I've always, you know, I've always really wanted to work on my skin health, and you know, that really provides that for me. So that's kind of where I'm going all in. And anyways, without further ado, it's just a little snippet of our, you know, of our story. And I just kind of want to pass the mic over to Jared and Allison. They're incredibly inspiring. They have a massive organization that they're building, and they're changing so many lives. So
Wow. Thank you. That was always, it's always inspiring and really rewarding to hear, you know, your story, and just all the stories in this community, people healing from all different types of issues. So that is just amazing, and congratulations to you guys. So for me, it started myself as well, a health journey. I was struggling with mental health mostly. And after having my kids, well, actually during pregnancy, I really wanted to get off medications, which I did manage to get off a bit, but I'll tell you, I relapsed really bad postpartum, and I was put on even stronger medications and was told I was bipolar, and that I would need to be on medications my whole life. And I really, you know, didn't want to be on medications my whole life, but I didn't know another way because I need to function as a mother. And it was also, you know, in my relationship, of course, like it was just putting a lot of strain in my whole life, in my career, jobs. I was not able to keep a job. And so this was huge. In like, this came into my life, much like how Sam said, you know, it was someone who asked me if I had ever heard of glyphosate, and I didn't know what that was. She had been following me for a while and heard about what I was struggling with, which was depression, anxiety, insomnia, and skin issues. So I had like tinea versicolor and eczema all over my body. And I also had IBS. And she said, you know, because she was following me, we were both in the similar community and plant-based. And I thought I was eating everything right, you know, because I was eating whole food, plant-based. But that was the missing piece for me, was glyphosate. And she said, are you open to doing a glyphosate detox to see what happens? And of course, I have nothing to lose. You know, I just said, of course, yes. So I did it, and it really did blow me away. I started to feel better pretty quickly. Like it just every day felt better and better. My mental clarity, my optimism, you know, my energy, everything started to improve like so much. And people were noticing it. People, you know, Jared noticed it. He was pretty skeptical at first when I first ordered it. He didn't really believe, you know, in gut health, or like, what is the, you know, he didn't really understand what it was. And when he started seeing my results, he went on it as well. And yeah, you want to share your story?
Yeah, like Allison's like, this mental health transformation, it's hard to describe that, but being part of her life, witnessing that the mood changes, watching her go off these medications was really profound. That really built my belief in it. So I just started dabbling in the Power Shake and the Biomedic, adding the aminos, not really ever doing it as a strict cleanse, you know, just continuing to eat the way I was always eating and drinking, but just adding in the superfood and the gut repair. And then within like 30 days, 60 days, I lost 30 pounds, and asthma and allergies that I had since birth disappeared. So, you know, things like inflammation response and a histamine response, where I was like dependent on over-the-counter pharmaceuticals, those are just slowly phased out of my life, you know, just gathering dust in our medicine cabinet. And eventually we're just threw them out because we have real food substitutes. for that. And, you know, she like, you can't really see a before and after picture of Allison. Her skin really healed. She had tinea versicolor, which went away after years, which is like a fungal overgrowth, which a lot of people struggle with. But, you know, you could see it in me as well. Like I look younger now than I did 10, 15 years ago. This is like your cells being rebuilt. And it's just a testament to what happens when you detoxify glyphosate with the biomedic. So you're removing this antibiotic that's been sprayed on food, that's very difficult to avoid because it's in our water, it's in the rain, it's everywhere. And
well, we had no idea. Some people, you know, we don't know what we're suffering with is gut. So I had no idea that respiratory issues could be gut related. I had no idea that my fungal overgrowth was related to my gut. Like these were all surprising side effects of just like healing our gut. And that's why we had to, like, when I saw Jared's transformation, because it wasn't enough. I mean, like mine was like, oh my God, it blew me away. But when I saw that in him as well, I was like, we need to share this with the world. So that's when we, you know, committed our like purpose. Both of us were in creative fields before. We weren't in the health and wellness space, but I said, I need to get like health, people who do, you know, who are nutritionists, who are in the health and wellness space. Like I need to get this into their hands because I was like, this is just so profound of, you know, what we witnessed in ourselves and what we had heard from other people as well. And I was just like, this is my mission now, to get this into the hands of as many people as possible, to provide access to this, you know, to this end of needless suffering that so many people normalize. And so,
and this is how we met when we first met Sarah Brandow in Belize. You know, she took a look at the ingredients and right away recognized that there's some real food solutions in here that you were directing your clients to, but here was kind of an all-in-one where everything kind of came together easily. It was all organically sourced and had certificates of analysis for any toxic residue. And, you know, it was just something that became very shareable. So yeah, for Sarah,
we were able to actually, you know, go to the jungle because of this opportunity. We were able to travel. We were able to actually quit our jobs after a year and a half, just because when we shared this, people's results, like Samantha, you know, all the people we shared this with had such profound results that, you know, they started sharing it with their friends and family. So it's really amazing that it liberated us from health, you know, dependencies, but also liberated us from having to ever work for anyone. So that's really our story in a nutshell. And I'm going to pass it back to you, Samantha.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And yeah, I am so grateful every day that you decided to share this with the world, because I don't know where I would be without this and without the community. I know you touched on that a little bit. It's part of the healing that came with this, because yeah, this last 3+ years, it seems like, has been crazy, and it's kind of ripped the world apart from each other. And this has really brought me back to people that are like-minded and on the same mission. And so, yeah, I'm so grateful to be with all of you. And I want to pass it to Sarah Brandow so she can share her take on this. Like Jared was saying, why she decided to take this on in her toolbox to help people with what they're dealing with.
Thank you so much. So my name is Sarah Brandow. I'm Director of Nutrition for BioAccelerator, the world leading stem cell company. And I meet patients every single week from the clinic that have a very wide array of health problems. And so many are so desperate for a solution to end their pain, to end their discomfort. They're looking for a miracle. And I have seen miracles, but miracles come when we're able to actually change someone's baseline health. That's what I do. There is no miracle without you doing the work. And so the results that I have seen from people taking and using the Purium system and actually staying on it, including in my own life, I thought I was really healthy before, and I figured out there's different levels that you can unlock. Because when I was traveling, I didn't always have the perfect diet like I would at home. I couldn't bring my juicer with me. And so having this system in place to have the highest quality nutrition, that is where most disease is stemming from in one sense or another. from the gut and from poor cellular health, which comes from a lack of nutrition. And so finding something that actually is affordable to people, it is accessible, it's super convenient, you don't need a juicer. And the results that I saw in my own life and in people that I was working with, my private clients as well, were undeniable. And so there is no healing that can happen without you doing the work to actually take care of yourself. It is the greatest act of self-love on the planet to actually invest in yourself and start feeding yourself properly and loving yourself properly. And maybe you're somebody who struggles to go to the gym or to focus or to get things done. Once you start healing your gut and your baseline nutrition, it becomes so much easier to accomplish all the other goals in your life. The amount of goals I've accomplished the past few years, I'm very, very blessed. And I was able to do that because I really took care of myself. And so when I'm explaining to people why supplements, because a lot of people think, well, I should be able to do this from food. And also, how do I choose good supplements? I'm going to share some slides with you about how I educate them on why I make these choices and how they can spot a really good supplement company as well. Am I good? Is it up? Okay, perfect. So do we need supplements? The reason I say yes, absolutely, is because our soils are sterile from modern agriculture. Transportation, most food is being transported very far. You're not getting fresh picked backyard garden food. Growing methods are prioritizing profit. They are not prioritizing nutrients. Then, of course, poor gut health as a result of these things, plus childhood antibiotics, chlorine rinses on the food. Now you have poor absorption, and you have people who think plants are trying to kill them when they actually don't have the right bacteria to break down the fiber to extract nutrients from food. So we want to help you to be able to do that again. And of course, high stress levels, which also impact the microbiome and keep your body in fight or flight in sympathetic mode, where your nervous system is not prioritizing healing. It's just trying to keep you at baseline. So we want to go beyond that. This is an article that came out in 2011. So this has been something that people are aware of for a long time. Fruit and vegetables have become significantly less nutritious than our parents, grandparents, and of course, great-grandparents were consuming. And soil depletion has not gotten any better since 2011. I can tell you that the studies have shown it's gotten a lot worse. Most produce is losing about 30% of its nutrients 3 days after harvest. And if you see here, some spinach can lose 90% of vitamin C within the first 24 hours after harvest. The solution to this is raw solar dehydrating, which it's very hard to find companies that do that. Many will have powders, but they're doing it at a very high temperature, and many of the nutrients and enzymes are being destroyed anyway. So you're getting expensive powders that might not necessarily work. And as you can see here, this is a pretty shocking statistic. You'd have to eat 8 oranges today to get the same vitamin A, that beta carotene, as your grandparents would have gotten from 1. So that's a pretty significant decline. And that's from a Scientific American article from the Kushi Institute. If you look at these stats, I'm not going to read them to you, but it's pretty shocking that human beings are existing but not thriving with this level of deficiencies. This is extremely, extremely common. And most of the general population, these are from the CDC and USDA statistics, 2022, most of the population is deficient. And I think magnesium is not even on there. Oh, 50%. I've heard as high as 70 to 80% of Americans are low magnesium, which is shocking. And that will affect many, many other systems in the body as well. Monoculture, mechanization, chemicals, and poor resiliency, super common. And so the quality of food that we consume is actually one of the most important factors in maintaining health. And if only we could just pop any supplement and it would work, that would be convenient. But there is such a dramatic difference between what is conventionally available. And that's why many people have spent so much money on multivitamins, probiotics, synthetic isolated vitamins and minerals, hoping that that will solve their problem when it simply can't. We need to have the whole food, the cofactors, the enzymes. It might not be as much of a shock to your system. It might not show up so immediately on a blood test. But what we want isn't just to have things bioaccumulating in our bloodstream. We want it to actually get into the cell. That's the difference between cellular nutrition and just popping synthetics made from petroleum, chalk. And often, as you can see from this study here, they're contaminated with different microbes, mold, yeast counts, things that people do not need any more of in their body. Lead as well, super common in a lot of protein powders. Same with cadmium. Arsenic, this is found commonly in chicken as well, but it's in a lot of rice proteins. So a lot of plant-based proteins that are really heavy on white or brown rice, that is something that you really have to look out for. So third-party testing to protect yourself is essential. And mercury, of course, in a lot of fish oils. Synthetic vitamins versus food-based synthetic are created in a lab and they mimic natural vitamins. So very common ones you might see, vitamin D, vitamin C is the most common. If anyone has a vitamin C in their house, just flip it over and look, and it will probably say ascorbic acid, which is typically coming from GMO corn. It is an isolate that mimics some parts of the natural vitamin, but without the enzymes and the cofactors. And all of these do give you some inflammation with the vitamin that you are consuming. So the way around that is a quality food-based one. Synthetic vitamins, as you all know, they're readily available, they're very affordable, they're very convenient, but they're not necessarily the best choice. And I certainly don't recommend them to my clients. Heavy metals, this is one of the biggest threats in even plant-based, not only whey protein powders, but 1 out of 10 whey protein brands in the US, they had lead in them. And plant-based protein, unfortunately, was not spared from this, but instead of lead, it was higher amounts of arsenic from the rice protein, mercury from the soils, and cadmium well above the legal limits and well above what the company actually disclosed. So third-party testing found this stuff. I just want to clarify, though, that if you're growing in organic, high-quality soil, there will be some metals. This is unavoidable. But there's a big difference between some metallic elements that are naturally occurring in soil, there's no way around that, versus high amounts of things that should not be there at all. And that's why there's like safety limits that are put in place for what the body can handle. But of course, there's also some quote unquote metals that we actually need. We need some zinc, iron, selenium. When we're actually short in these, when we're a bit deficient, that's when our cells are more likely to allow heavy metals to enter because they look so chemically similar and the cells are starving. So by meeting your baseline nutrition, you are actually less likely, even when you come in contact with metals, to end up with a problem because you have strong cellular health, good mitochondrial function, you aren't deficient in things. Very important to not have deficiencies. Unfortunately, 90% or more of vitamins contain these harmful ingredients, at least one of them on the list. These are all very, very common when you're shopping for just regular grocery store vitamins. This has become, sadly, a very predatory industry. And much like the food industry, they don't like to have waste. And the supplement industry is often, many of these companies owned by the pharmaceutical industry would be a parent company. And so they like to use some of their leftover product, let's say leftover byproduct, as binders, fillers, adjuvants, things that will make something bind together and or even appear better than it should be, you know, like making ascorbic acid bright colors so you think it came from an orange when it didn't. But these things are not good for you. So what you want to do is always find a company, and this is how I ended up with Purium, fully trusting them. You want to have a certificate of analysis to prove that's their only job. Just prove to us that you are selling what you say you're selling. That's the most important thing. And you at least want to see heavy metal testing. I always want to see pesticide testing, but there's very few companies in the world that also do glyphosate testing. This might be the only one, there might be others, but that is what I always tell people to look for as well, because Allison and Jared touched on how harmful this is. And as I mentioned before, it's impossible to grow food in nutrient-rich soil with zero presence of metals. So don't be alarmed if you see it, but you have to understand what the safe measurements are, the safe levels that are approved. So this is from the Purium website. They have a certificate of analysis, not for 1 or 2 products, but basically for all of them. And the ones that aren't there are being added. They're adding new ones all the time. So you can actually check the COA for every single product so you know that the integrity is there, which is super important to me. And of course, for gut health, 70 to 80% of the cells that comprise your immune system, they are in your gut. So the diversity of your gut also isn't just for your immune system, it's for absorption of food. So the more you heal your gut, the more you use tools like Biomedic, raw dehydrated greens, stay away from glyphosate, this toxic herbicide that affects over 50% of the good types of bacteria in our gut, the better you will start to feel. This has also been linked to many types of cancers as well. These companies have been ordered to do pretty big payouts but the payouts haven't happened yet. There's a lot of corruption in this industry, as you may know, but what we can do to protect ourselves, because it's unavoidable, even if you avoid GMO foods, even if you do your best, is to actually detoxify it. Biomedic, I have mine here. They actually changed the packaging. It's like a hemp and something else resin, but it's still compostable. This can go in your garden, which is amazing. This is one of the most important tools in my health tool belt because this actually has been proven in clinical studies. I like when companies prove what they claim. It reduces glyphosate by about 74% in 6 weeks. It can help repair the gut lining, reduce inflammation. C-reactive protein, CRP, is the inflammatory biomarker you would look for in someone's blood test. It doesn't tell you what's going on, but it tells you that they're inflamed. So the fact that healing the gut can bring down C-reactive protein is incredible. That's something that all clinicians should be looking into. And that's why I'm very, very passionate about this product. And Apothecary, another one. This is a very evidence-based product. There are so many studies. If you want to look on PubMed or any other medical journal online, just type in tart cherry juice, melatonin. I have my bottle here. I don't have a pretty one. They're always half consumed, but this is non-negotiable for me every single night. I have a little bit of this about 90 minutes before bed. It's so good for your skin, your hair, your nails, your joints, and also for melatonin so that you sleep better. And there's third-party testing, so you know what's actually in there. And this is an example, as I mentioned, of vitamin C as ascorbic acid versus what's in real vitamin C. There's a pretty obvious difference here. One of them has an orange on the front to make you think that there's orange in it, but they're actually just talking about the flavor that they added. This is not from an orange. This is from GMO corn. And so I always recommend choosing a food-based, naturally occurring vitamin C with the enzymes, with the cofactors, and with all the additional nutrients, as opposed to one synthetic isolate, which did not come from the best source. And of course, always, I like to advocate for supporting farmers that are doing the right thing. It is not easy to grow organically in this world. It is very expensive. You skip out on a lot of government subsidies. This is not the easy way to make money, but in my opinion, it is always the right thing to do to support these farmers who are going that extra mile, who really care about your health and your gut health by avoiding glyphosate. So that is the system that I use with my personal clients. That is the system that I recommend to individuals who are trying to improve their gut health, who are trying to experience whole food nutrition, sometimes for the first time in their life. A lot of people have gone their whole life being totally malnourished. So this is the system that I've seen just bring so many people to a level of health that they never thought possible.
Amazing. I just am blown away by some of those statistics and some of the things that are allowed to be going on still, even though it's been exposed. It's just mind-blowing. And so, yeah, anyone that wants to learn more, I would say definitely get back to the person that invited you, because they have loads of information. We're given so many resources. That's another thing that this company is so grateful with, or like giving with, is the resources that we're given. And it's been pretty cool to learn about nutrition in the way of from real people that are talking about real science, and they have the proof, like you were saying, with the certificates of analysis and their testing that they do. And it's just, I'm so grateful to have found a company that I can truly support, like you were saying, and fully align with what they're doing. And the fact that they're plastic free now, and they are not only for themselves, but helping to really pioneer this in the world with their Plastic Free Alliance, and helping other companies to reduce their plastic waste, which is huge for, our environment and for our future. And so thank you so much for Allison and Jared, and for Sarah for coming on and sharing your stories, sharing your knowledge with everyone, and for everyone who joined with us live. Thank you so much. And yeah, if there's anyone that wants this replay, definitely get back to us. And if you have any questions, like I said, get back to the person that invited you. They have a gift code for you that can save you upwards of $120 on these packs that we have. And there are ones for, like he said, the performance pack, the collagen. We have one that's for immune focused, and we can get you going on this lifestyle and see what can happen for you.
Yeah, I mean, summer's around the corner. Everyone's looking for that summer bod. This is, what a great way to start with your gut health and really transform from the inside out. That's really where it does start, though. And it's, you know, played such a big role in our lives and being the game changer of doing all the right things, eating all the right things, and really elevating our health, you know. And we would be doing the wrong thing to not share it with everybody in the world, really. So again, we appreciate everybody's time. Sarah, Jared, Allison,
Any
thank you
closing
so much. Yeah, you guys want to if you guys have any closing words?
Just if anyone is curious because I touched on a few different products. Also, the Power Shake is like your liquid multivitamin. This is incredible. The dark berry protein, the way that you can start out that is so seamless and easy, it already is in a package. So it's the ultimate lifestyle transformation. I like the ultimate lifestyle transformation with collagen, because then you get the dark berry protein, which is collagen support, as well as renew skin, hair, and nails. And of course, we all want collagen for our skin, hair, and nails, but really we want collagen for our microbiome, for our gut health. That's actually the most important thing. So the system is called either the ultimate lifestyle transformation or the ultimate lifestyle transformation with collagen, which is my personal favorite. That's the package that I recommend to everybody. So if you aren't sure where to start, those are my top recommendations. But if you're somebody who is active, working on your gut health, working on your skin health, definitely go for the collagen support. And all of us are here to support you on this journey as well.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you. Just want to say the best decision we ever made. And there's no time like today. So thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Sam and Rich and everyone here. Thank you.
Good night.
We're grateful. Have a great day, everyone.